All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Mikhail and Dice. This game taking place here on Northern Isles. Dice spawning as the purple Night Elf player on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, Mikhail spawning as the red Undead. Undead versus Night Elf in a 1v1 matchup. And what are we looking to see? And what style of plays are we going to be looking at here? I am expecting to see a Keeper of the Grove early on, and and the Keeper of the Grove just has so much utility early on, and I think this new meta and this new style where your second hero actually out levels your first hero becoming a priority has really allowed for Keeper of the Grove to be that first hero. Keeper of the Grove first allows for entangle on ghouls and treants to pressure expansions or to set up your own expansion as a Night Elf player. Same thing is similar I wouldn't say it for Farseer, as Farseer for Orc, those Spirit Wolves getting to level 5 do add a tremendous amount of damage, and since they are able to, be invisible unless they are attacking. SC2 was so hard to play with the non-stop macro part, and that was true. SC2, StarCraft 2, non-stop macro, just constantly trying to train up units, but if you've ever played StarCraft Brood War, then you would have thought that and the macro in StarCraft 2 was just simple in comparison, right? Um, you in StarCraft Brood War, you could hotkey locations, but you couldn't hotkey multiple buildings, and you couldn't actually like select all of your barracks and then just go M. Like, as difficult as it was, it also wasn't really that hard, and that's the reason why you often have death balls in StarCraft 2, when it is just as important to just create and max out that 200 food army. But the reason why you don't have 200 food armies in Brood War nearly as much is because as your army grows, the effectiveness of each unit goes down since you're not able to micro them, and that's actually what I miss from Brood War. Right? I miss the ability, or I miss from Brood War from StarCraft 2, where those small early engagements where you had four Zerglings versus a Zealot, or two on two Zealot fights, and um, and simple micro going back and forth, and the player who was able to micro a little bit better actually came out with an advantage. Even though they both had two Zealots at the end, one player would say take actual real damage while the other one would only lose their shields. Things of that nature actually made a very, very profound difference. Coming back around, we're looking at Keeper of the Grove, looking to clear up all of these units here. Meanwhile, Death Knight is going to stay at level 2, clearing up the remainder of this creep camp here. Mikhail doing a good job, looking to perhaps macro up a large enough army, and now going after this 5-4-4 creep camp, which will give the Death Knight, I think, get him very close to level 2, if not there completely. Who's the Night Elf player again? The Night Elf player is Dise. All right. Death Knight coming back around, and I got to admit, I really appreciate the work of a W3 champion team being able to just make the world a little bit smaller and bring the world closer together. Having East meets West players, and playing WarCraft 3 with minimal ping issues, especially in 2021, where LAN wasn't possible. Really has opened up the WarCraft 3 scene, as I think the European players are gaining on the Eastern players overall. I think that is absolutely true. They're trying to close that gap, and once that gap is closed, it will be better overall, as the pool of players and the talent from that pool of players is just that much better. Michael saving that low hit point ghoul right there, Mikhail saving that low hit point ghoul right there. Are we going to see that? Well, ghoul, yeah, back away down to 33 hit points, able to head back with no problem once more. Expansion now up for Mikhail. Dice doing a similar strategy as well. So we should have a little bit of a break in the action for about 3 to 4 minutes, or actually 2 to 3 minutes here, as both players are trying to set up their expansions. A sentry ward now placed down by Dise to keep track of what's going on. I don't, it might actually be enough to spot this ziggurat here, and with this, well, Dise should have, well, can probably conclude that an expansion is underway. Mikhail doing a little bit of chasing around. We are now at Halls of the Dead. Still no Lich as of yet, as the Death Knight trying to catch up to that Keeper of the Grove and not able to do so nearly as well. And are we going to have a little bit of traffic here? All right, no, little bit of... What was that? Why would you summon the Treants off over there? Oh, trying to put pressure onto the Haunted Gold Mine, as it is not yet up and running. Keeper of the Grove going to try and engage here, and here we are off to the races. Triple and Treant's already putting in pressure. Archers now coming across, as well as the Archers dealing that 16 to 18 piercing damage and able to really add that up here. Entangle now onto that ghoul as well. Keeper of the Grove wants to finish off that ghoul, and by finishing off that acolyte, he ensures that, well, the expansion is not going to stay up and running. Dise now running off to the north here, down to 149 hit points. One auto attack from that Death Knight, followed by a Death Coil, could be enough, as Dise says, nope, you know what? I need to save my units. Keeper of the Grove stays alive. Demon Hunter now out here on the battlefield. Demon Hunter is going to be the one to try and get to level 3 next. As the game progresses on, the Keeper of the Grove generally falls off in favor, as Entangle and Treants don't work well at all. Destroyers able to devour magic, regenerate hit points, add in splash damage, take down bears, and dispel so much magic, causing so many problems. Lich now out here onto the battlefield as well. Are we going to see a death or some mana burns? Yes, we are. Lich getting one mana burn right there, going after that unit. There's a Frost Nova onto the Keeper of the Grove, as the Keeper of the Grove may be forced to retreat back. Another mana burn, but this time on the Death Knight instead. Lich perhaps should have been the priority target number 1, as that Frost Nova would have slowed down that Keeper of the Grove even more. Demon Hunter in serious trouble, down to 51 hit points, trying to back away. He's going to get surrounded and taken down, giving level 4 to that Death Knight. All right, Lich still has a little bit of bonus auto attack, trying to finish off some units. Ghouls are trying to chase after, as level 2 Unholy Aura comes online, activating the movement speed buff for all of those ghouls even further. All right, more damage added in. Lich could be in a little bit of trouble. Death Knight, Potion of Mana, quickly gets a Death Coil off, saving that Lich once more, and still adding more damage again. Dise in a little bit of trouble. Mikhail doing a great job just adding in a damage over the top once more, as the Keeper of the Grove is just feeding experience now to the Death Knight and that Lich, which will eventually become a problem. We are still only at Halls of the Dead, not fully saturating this expansion down to the south. Meanwhile, Dise does have an expansion fully operational, which will give him the economic advantage, but that is only translated into additional experience and additional death of units. Demon Hunter back online. Keeper of the Grove going to make it around the corner here, as we're looking at, well, ghouls could end up getting taken down. Are we going to see a mana burn? Yes. Death Knight now unable to Death Coil. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter perhaps going to get a mana burn off onto another unit as well. We're looking at so much damage here, as the Demon Hunter mana burns once more. Gargoyle is now out in play as well to try and finish off this Tree of Life, who's now down to 351 hit points, as the Lich gets to level 2. Auto attack is ready. Dark Ritual being used as well. Going to try and add up more mana. Demon Hunter may have something to say about that if it does have enough mana for a mana burn. And Dise going to end up losing his Tree of Life if he's not careful. Wisp coming off of the line to try and repair. Holding steady at 100 hit points. If you can say that is holding steady, that tree is on life support, but slowly getting, well, coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, literally, as the Lich is now in trouble. Down to 22 hit points. Scroll of Town's portal was transferred, but not used in time. All right, Mikhail taking a definite setback there, being forced to resurrect a level 2 Lich back at home. That may end up delaying the tech to tier 3 and that eventual Orb of Corruption. Gargoyles still in store right now. Dryads trying to go to work here. Keeper of the Grove should actually be backing away. You really want to see this Demon Hunter get up to level 3 quickly, as we see a Goblin Shredder quickly, well, hired and then staffed up Preservation out. Goblin Sapper going to be joining in on the battle here. Demon Hunter sitting at level 2 has a Pure Up of Vitality for some additional hit points. And now in comes this engagement. There's a Crypt right here. A Keeper of the Grove going to try and go for an engagement here. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove is already in position. Dryads here. Goblin Sapper going to try and run into that target, and it's going to find exactly where to go, taking down 2 of those Ziggurats and taking down that Nerubian tower. However, there is still 1 Spirit Tower in position, keeping that, well, alive and well for now. All right, a little bit of slow poison damage, picking off trailing ghouls. 1 Spirit Tower, however, a very strong deterrent, as there is a lot of unarmored units. Demon Hunter now looking to back away, looking at 48 supply compared to 40 supply coming in from Mikkel. Additional Ziggurats need to be replaced here as Treants are now joining back in on the battle. Are we going to see some cancellations on those Ziggurats, or the Gargoyles be able to do their job, as we're looking at the Gargoyles finally getting into position? Tech to tier 3 still not yet underway, as the Dryads, well, want to try and engage, but that Spirit Tower, 27 to 32 damage with that fast attack. Once it targets and locks onto a Dryad, that damage adds up so quickly. Demon Hunter diving in a little bit far, as the Demon Hunter gets up to level 3, gets a quick mana burn off onto the Obsidian statue, takes it down, and the Keeper of the Grove, Staff of Preservations it back home. All right, taking down 1 Obsidian statue is a very big deal indeed. Finally, Mikkel teching the tier 3. Meanwhile, Dise is trying to hold on, or trying to build on his economic advantage. We are going into Tree of Ages. I believe we're getting Nature's Blessing as well. And we are going into, I believe we were training up some bears perhaps, as we now see a potential Creepjack again. Death Knight, well, finding all of these units here. Demon Hunter seen at level 3. Keeper of the Grove almost at level 4. Demon Hunter, oh, mana burn right there, but a Frost Nova going down from the Lich. Lich trying to chase after the Keeper of the Grove, having plenty of distance, as we're looking at perhaps another mana burn, perhaps to close in on that Lich here. Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat from the races, down to 150 hit points, gets a Moonwell, and will be able to survive. Trying to fight against anyone with Moonwells is always very difficult, as we see a Death Coil there. All right, Death Coil mana burn should be going down onto the Death Knight. Are we going to see another mana burn here? No, we are not. Going straight after, and well, straight after that Lich. And instead of going after the Lich, if he had gone after the Death Knight, mana burned it, that Lich would, well, still be at about 100 hit points. Field Dryads are so weak versus Undead. Well, Dryads are also the only unit that can't get blasted by Impale, Death Coil, and Frost Nova. So that is a kind of a necessary unit if your opponent does have high-level heroes. Now, the question is, what is Dise going to change or follow up into? Is he going to go into more Dryads, or perhaps is he going to try and go into Mountain Giants, getting a little bit of taunts? Demon Hunter also doesn't have an Orb of Venom, so unable to really punish the hit-and-run tactics, as the Demon Hunter may try and grab one now. Is that what he's going for? Yep, picking up that Orb of Venom. Meanwhile, back down to the center portion of the map, Staff of Teleportation. Demon Hunter going to show up to the fight and say, you know what? Poison for you, poison for all of these units. If we can finally get that damage down, just going after a 1 or 2 gargoyles, that damage over time does add up very quickly. Dise, well, still plenty of mining on both gold mines here. Keeper of the Grove at level 4. Demon Hunter is going to stay at level 3 after this creep camp. We are looking at level 2 Triads, level 2 Entangle, as a Sobi Mask going to get picked up by the Keeper of the Grove to help with that mana regeneration. Now, the next critical level for the Keeper of the Grove is not level 5, but level 6 to gain access to Tranquility. Mass Tranquility, always a bit of a scare, as we're looking at Druids of the Claw joining alongside those Dryads. Is the booster down? Yep, W3 booster is still down. Pad has not updated it. Do you still play 1v1s from time to time? I do occasionally, and it's absolutely nerve-wracking, right? And I find myself not actually enjoying myself, as opposed to critiquing myself a little bit too much. It's the same reason why I didn't, like, I tried to play WarCraft 3 competitively for a while, and after a while it really does become a job. Anyone who says I want to be a professional gamer, you gotta love competition. You gotta love to win, and that drive has got to motivate you into performing better. Because if you don't, and you hate to lose, and you lose quite a bit sometimes, then well, it sucks. All right, coming back around. Tuskar Sorcerer's Tracker is now going to be coming back around here. Gargoyle is going to try and engage. Mana Burn right there, trying to finish off. There was one Obsidian statue that just get taken down from a Mana Burn, not getting Mana Burn, and now it turns into a Destroyer. Going to open things up once more. All right, more damage. Gargoyle is going after the Dryads. Dryads could try and go after more units. There's another Mana Burn, Staff of Preservation. Demon Hunter going after the Destroyer. Destroyer gets down to 33 hit points and ends up surviving still. Gargoyle still going around here, going into a bit of an engagement. Dryads trying to finish off some more units. Staff of Preservation saves another unit right there as the Demon Hunter is just slowly slicing and dicing into that Lich, but the Lich has plenty of health as long as that Death Knight has mana. All right, Death Knight still with plenty of mana here. Keeper of the Grove trying to back away. Death Knight now getting up to level 5. Lich getting up to level 3 as the units are trying to back away once more. Are we perhaps going to be looking at another Death Coil? Yes, Lich back up to full hit points once again. All right, units pulling their way back. Does W3 Booster allow you to change your username, tag name? You'd have to ask the people at W3 Pad and W3 Champions those questions. I don't know enough to say yes or no. Undead needs a few abominations. That is definitely abominations are just generally so strong at spreading disease across all of those Dryads. Tree of Life already going to get in position here. Tree of War also going to act as a bit of a sentry, as well as that Tree of Life is absorbing quite a bit of damage. Death Knight now comes over. Gargoyles are in position, and that Tree of Life is not rooted. Going to take a large amount of damage indeed, as the Dryads are not going to be able to save here. Dise going to lose this expansion even before it gets up, as that Tree of Life gets taken down. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter trying to go after the Shaman here. There goes another Gargoyle. It looks like it was just Dark Ritualed, as that Lich does have plus 19 attack. Very high auto damage attack. I get what you mean. I enjoyed playing the game the most when I was low level. Like, I think for me and for a lot of people, you enjoy games the most when you see progress in your play, right? As you get better and better, that's really when you enjoy it. And then once you get into that intermediate level where progress comes slowly, and sometimes it really is 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, or sometimes 2 steps forward, 3 steps back from day to day, and you can't seem to get better, and that always just seems to hurt a little bit. Goblin Sapper is going to find their target there, finish off one unit there, and now perhaps trying to finish off the Spirit Tower. However, the Acolytes are going to be able to come over and repair once again. Demon Hunter, triple illusions here. Destroyers should be able to easily just devour magic. What is going on here? Why aren't they actually getting devoured? There you are, getting devoured once more, as the Demon Hunter and Dryads are just putting in pressure once again. All right, the Masked Dryad's actually a bit of a problem for the Destroyers, as the only target to go after is the Demon Hunter and the Keeper of the Grove, who also have some natural magic resistance as well. Dryads with a little bit of that slow poison. Demon Hunter is going to try and staff a teleportation back in. Keeper of the Grove now shows back up, or gets back up to the party at level 5, as the Demon Hunter shows in and perhaps going to try and use some crazy damage as well. Mana Burn straight up, trying to finish off some of those additional units. Are more Dryads going to get taken down? Gargoyles getting taken down, Dryads getting taken down. Beautiful, crazy battle on both sides. 65 supply compared to, or 70 compared to 67. Still a neck and neck race between these two teams. All right, Boneyard for Frostworms. Training up some Frostworms here. Gargoyles making their way off to the north. Wisp going to get taken down. Keeper of the Grove sits at level 5. Rejuvenation is in order for out of battle, out of combat healing, as the Dryads perhaps gonna make their, try and do a little bit of a push. Gargoyles do have 2-0 upgrades. I love beginning around 2003, 2006. People on BNet could do so many starts and still win. Well, that's also just because the player base was just that much larger, right? The player base was so large that that you could try new things, you could set up new accounts, you could play them and simply enjoy them pretty easily and regularly. All right, over here to the top left, Ogre Magi actually going to get taken down by Treants here. Dise getting in a little bit of extra experience on that Demon Hunter away from the action. as the player pool of a game shrinks, generally the top end is still there. A Dise actually getting up a Panda as that third and final hero, and could be getting in some Drunken Haze breath of fires across here. Frostworms also in this mix, as well as Dryads trying to start to poke things down. Keeper of the Grove in a little bit of trouble, down to 588 hit points. Uses a Scroll of Healing as the Keeper of the Grove now trying to back away. Keeper of the Grove in trouble. Gonna go ahead and use the Scroll of Town Portal to head back as Gargoyles are now getting taken down. Michael could be in a little bit of trouble. Wow. Panda actually separated from the rest of the party and gonna get taken out at level 2. Oh, Scroll of Town Portal. The Keeper of the Grove was trying to run away. Actually created a little bit too much separation between him and that Panda, and that Panda was left behind. Yeah, and that's ultimately right. Like if you play games, if you play games to win versus play games to have fun, that's really a lot of the big deal here. All right, Demon Hunter sitting at level 4, gonna try and clear out this Ogre Warrior creep camp here. Ice Troll, Keeper of the Grove purposely keeping his distance away, and this Demon Hunter gonna get to level 5. Now also has Unholy Aura for faster movement speed. Coming back around here, Gargoyles and Destroyers now making their home as Mikkel looking to recharge. Bottom right hand side of the map, Dise has reset up this expansion and is now currently running on 3 bases, with the main bases nearly mined out. It's going to be 2 bases to 1 in just a moment, but this ghoul is going to be scouting it out. Now, what are Dice's options? Dise could try and do a little bit of protection here, or maybe just position himself off pretty much right here, gaining information if any units try to head off to the north. He cannot allow, or Mikkel cannot allow, this expansion to be, a free reign and just be able to run without any opposition. There is the Ancient of War, and now we should be looking at, Dise quickly responding and coming back down to try and stop this. Brewmaster does have an Orb of Venom. Keeper of the Grove also has an Orb of Venom. Demon Hunter has an Orb of Venom, so it's triple Orb of Venom to rack up a lot of that damage. Here we are going to try and engage. Treant's going to join in on the battle, and there is some slow poison already. All right, could have really tried to push on in this location, trying to commit to some sort of fight here, as the units are now going to try and, are Tree of Life. This is the strange spot here. The Tree of Life is positioned in such a way that you almost need to shift down a little bit further, and as soon as you do that, you expose yourself tremendously. In comes the Treants. Dryads are now going to be coming back across. Panda wanted to get off a Breath of Fire, but was unable to do exactly that, as we should be looking at least some repairs on this Tree of Life by Dise. No repairs as of yet, and now an establishing of the expansion by Mikkel over here on the top left. Tome of Intelligence +2 still available there, and that Lich does have +24 damage. That Lich dealing some crazy damage indeed. Auto attack becoming so nasty and gnarly from that Lich. All right, Ancient of Wonders being placed down, trying to get a little bit of home field advantage. Dise knows that he has a little bit of home field advantage, at least for now, but the gold mines will be running out soon. We do see Wand of Illusion being used, and Mikkel's army of, 3 additional Frostworms is absolutely positively scary. Panda could have turned around. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. He gets some poison damage onto those Frostworms, but the Frostworms just look like they're going to be pushing in through so much damage. Panda trying to push through. Anti-Magic Shell not going to be enough, as Mikkel finishes off the level 2 Panda. Keeper of the Grove, Staff of Preservation saved. That means that the Demon Hunter is by himself right now, as the Lich could be in trouble. Lich down to 96 hit points, down to 20 hit points. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability is in time, as the units are still fighting their way through. Demon Hunter sitting at level 5, and they're still trying to get an engagement. Death Knight get the Death Coil up onto that Lich, as the Lich able to live and fight another day. Dryads now looking to retreat back, as Dice's army now down to 68 supply, 2 Frostworms and 1 fake illusionary Frostworm, making things difficult. Keeper of the Grove shows back up, but too little, too late, as the expansion now going to get cleaned up here. So much damage, nicely done. Meanwhile, Mikkel sitting at 76 over 100 supply compared to 74 over 100. All right, Keeper of the Grove tries to get an entangle off onto that Lich. No Devour Magic. Demon Hunter going to be coming in from behind. There's a Staff of Preservation saving once more. Mana Burn onto the Lich. Lich with auto attack still adding up a lot more damage again. Demon Hunter trying to stay alive. Is the Demon Hunter going to get taken down? He does get taken down, giving level 6 to the Death Knight. Dryad looking to finish things off here. Level 5 Demon Hunter fallen, and the level 6 Death Knight, level 4 Lich more than enough, as the Lich also gets the level 5, that auto attack damage, making such a big, profound difference. The negative armor coupled with, that negative armor just coupled with subsequent attacks deals so much damage. Dryads still sticking around here. No Crypt Fiends out here onto the battlefield. So the Dryads are pretty much the strong portion of the army, as we're looking at another Frost Nova go down here. Tree of Eternity being brought over to the fight as the Keeper of the Grove taken out once more. Panda by his lonesome self, triple Orb of Venom, not able to stay alive here, as the Lich is going to actually get taken down. This could be a bit of trouble. Down to, is it going to get taken down? Breath of Fire, not enough. Yes, level 3 now onto the Brewmaster, as the army of Dryads going up against the army of Destroyers. Well, Lich is now back out onto the battlefield, and now it's just the scary auto attack of that Lich to try and finish off any focused fired units, as the Dryads suffering from Disease Cloud. All right, you're going to see that these Dryads are just taking slight damage over time, even when they are not being attacked, and as the Panda falls as well. Dise now losing all 3 heroes. Pretty much, Mikkel, only way that Mikkel loses this game is if he absolutely throws it, losing his Death Knight and his Lich, perhaps. Dryads retreating back here. Obsidian statues, Destroyers, Frostworms, all of them deal magic damage. Only a handful of, or only 2 gargoyles in the air, and the heroes can actually attack back against these Dryads. 55 over 90 supply. Tree of Eternity has made its way down. Gonna go ahead and try and mine here. Meanwhile, this gold mine is nearly mined out, as well as this Tree of Life is gonna try and transition over, and well, going to quickly spot that there is Blight right here, and that his opponent Mikkel is in fact mining. Mikkel unsummoning this gold mine as it is no longer needed. Meanwhile, Death Knight, Lich, Frostworms are on the move once again. A Tree of Eternity, well, wanting to saturate this gold mine once more. 50 supply over 80 compared to 60 over 100. The army is actually still rather even, and well, Disease Cloud has finally dissipated from the Dryads, as the Dryads are able to try and heal back up, but needs a little bit more time before it is nightfall. It's currently 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Destroyers, Gargoyles, Death Knight now making its way back over. Tree of Eternity looking to finish things off here. There is that Frostworm once more. Units now making their way down as the Demon Hunter. Is he going to be able to carry this fight? The Dryads are here. A little bit of slow poison does add up quite a bit. However, the Gargoyle is going to add up a little bit of damage. Frost Nova, making things difficult as Orb of Venom damage. Now Mana Burn trying to finish off some of those units. Demon Hunter down to 350 hit points. Anti-Magic Shell, is it going to really work? Wow, all of Anti-Magic Shell pretty much used up in an instant. It had an Anti-Magic Potion, and that Anti-Magic Shell absorbed the damage and completely disappeared in just a matter of seconds. Demon Hunter falls at level 5. No additional hero was out in play to receive the experience, as the Lich gets up to level 6, and Death and Decay finishing off this Tree of Eternity down here to the bottom right. Mikkel outlasting Dise in this marathon match here on Northern Isle. Use of Dryads against the Gargoyles, but it was really the Lich and the Lich and the hero use as well. That one fight where Michael was able to chase away the Keeper of the Grove, forcing the Keeper of the Grove to use a Scroll of Town Portal, and thereby leaving behind the Panda. I believe that was the critical moment. The Panda getting Breath of Fires off on all of those Gargoyles, and maybe would have been able to get up to level 3 a little bit sooner, making him much more impactful. Instead, the armies were separated, and the Panda was lost at level 2, thereby allowing Michael to start running away with the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. And well, please check out more Warcraft 3 videos.